Hadouken! Power up! Get over here!
Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. Once again, it is the three middle-aged guys just bullshitting about nothing. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
And we're going to start our Geek Week in Review. Of course, our particular subjects are random subjects about anything. And we're going to talk about Nintendo again. All right. As we said last week, Nintendo's pretty much slowly taking over the world with their entry into the mobile foray like Pokemon Go. They had Miitomo a little bit earlier in the year. Actually, a little bit later in the year, we're going to see Animal Crossing from them, which is probably going to do really, really well. And even with all the things that have happened so far, as like fluctuations in stock, stupid stories of people doing stupid things while playing Pokemon Go and everything. Let's just be honest. As gamers, a lot of the people in the gaming industry and many fans are looking forward to find out what's going on with Nintendo's new console, the NX. And we've gotten a little bit of feedback from people asking us why we don't talk about that much. Well, I'm gonna speak for the other guys right now. There isn't a lot of factual things out there on the NX, and there's a lot of rumors out there. And the truth of the matter is that there really isn't a lot to speculate on. And it's really kind of, I don't feel comfortable going out of my way and talking about rumors about Nintendo and what they're planning, for the fact that a lot of the rumors that have been really well seeded, especially over the last 6 months, turned out to be complete bullshit.
Bullshit.
Yeah, but since this is our channel and people are interested, we're going to talk about the release or the supposed leak of the schematics of what the NX is, or what the mock-up what the NX is. Basically, a lot of people have taken the artwork that looks like, well, let me see if I can go ahead and find it.
No.
Yeah. Let's go to images.
Oh, come on.
Right. Okay.
Why are you gonna do this to these people?
Well, this is what people have to sit there and think about. Okay, when we're talking about. Let's see here. All right, Eurogamer.net, which is actually usually very, very reputable when it comes to a lot of things that they break online about gaming systems. They broke a lot of the information about the Microsoft Xbox, the Scorpio, the Slim, and they also broke a lot of the information about the PS4 Neo. And a lot of that stuff, turns out, is true. They went ahead and they released out an article with a bit of a mock-up of what the Nintendo NX is supposed to look like, and I'm actually going to go ahead and share with you guys. This is from their newest article from today, what it actually looks like. So let's see here. Where am I? Oh man. Okay, there's the share screen. All right. Okay. There it goes. All right. This right here is the mock-up that everybody has been talking about. Okay. Basically, the rumors have been going that the Nintendo NX is going to be some sort of portable home console hybrid. Now, this right here is the picture that they released out, which shows what looks like the bottom half of a Game Boy, or excuse me, a 3DS.
3DS.
Right? Where you have a tablet in the middle, and then the D-pad and the buttons, along with the two analog sticks, go ahead and they're detachable, while the center unit sits in some sort of console dock. Okay. To tell you the truth, I don't know whether or not this is far off or not. But besides showing off this particular mock-up, Eurogamer was also able to go ahead and they went ahead and they went out of their way and they said that the system was going to be running off of the NVIDIA and Tegra technology, and they went ahead and they said that, you know, we've got the information and, you know, the proof that there are chips and there's contracts for this architecture and everything, and they put this out there. Our big discussion right now is, what are your thoughts on this in general, fellas? Because I've got a few, but you know, I'll open the floor first before I monopolize time any more than I already have.
Okay, where do I begin? It's okay. I understand what Nintendo's trying to do, and I understand they're trying to do something different. If this is true, I understand what they're going for. However, Nintendo has to be careful about a design like this, because if this is going to be using this type of design, just like the Wii U with the touch screen and everything, and have everything in front of you, only Nintendo will take advantage of that. Third party will not. If you're going to have some type of new technology that's going to have, you know, a screen here or a screen down there, and, you know, a tablet console hybrid, and, you know, controllers, and maybe you can hook your phones and the new 3DS to it, and maybe amiibo slots, and maybe it'll be compatible with Wii and Wii U controllers. Okay, look, I appreciate the good ideas, but you have to be careful with the first and third party separation. Third party is really, really going to decide Nintendo this time around, in my opinion. First party is a lock, but people want to see third party come into play. If the design is so messed up that it's going to be too difficult to work on as far as third party games, then it's going to be a problem.
What about you, Grey Mouse?
I don't know. I kind of fear for their handhelds. Are they trying to combine their handhelds into a console and their console into their handhelds? I would really think that would not be a good idea for Nintendo to abandon the 3DS. But I'm not saying that they are. Of course, this is all rumors. But essentially, that's what it is. That you could a 3DS that you could actually plug into a TV dock, and you display what you're playing up on your TV. It has its advantages, I guess. It's, you know, the word, you know, on the go type of thing. But I mean, we've been doing that same thing, you know, for decades now. You know, carrying our consoles over to our friends' houses. I've been doing it for decades, you know. So I'm not sure on what direction that Nintendo's going, but I have to agree with the theme. You know, they just got to be real careful, because they don't want to discourage third-party participation this time around. I guess this could be the quote-unquote 9th generation, if, you know, because this is Nintendo, right? So, I don't know. It's all question marks for me. You know, big question mark. And I'm just trying to figure out, you know, I'm not saying that I'm against it. I'm not saying I'm for it. But it's very critical for Nintendo to have third-party support this time around, because, you know, the Wii U is a colossal failure. It hurts my soul to say that. There are some outstanding games on the Wii U that I recommend everybody playing, you know, once the Wii U, you know, becomes legacy system, which, whatever. But pick up those games. There's a lot of good Wii U games, you know. But unfortunately, again, we're talking first party. So I think, like you said, Theme, I think third party is extremely important this time around. And but the thing is, though, Nintendo has always persevered over mistakes, over problems. they're a company that's been around for 150 so years. You know, it was a trading card company at first, or a card game at first, and then, you know, it didn't really pick up until the 1985 when it released the NES. But even if this flops, I think Nintendo's still going to be okay. Simply because Nintendo, and they're going to do what they're going to do what they do as always. Because we could count, you know, several systems that weren't so good. The Wii U, some people say the Game Boy, or what's it called? I can't think of it right. The GameCube. You know, Nintendo 64 wasn't. It was okay, but it still was kind of iffy.
It wasn't stellar.
But it was a seller, absolutely. But so, I mean, I just hope that. I'll just say I have faith in Nintendo to bring out something that's good, and it's something that that people will latch on to, because, but like I said, you know, and Theme said, third party is critical. It's they have to bring back the third party companies. They have to bring back, you know, the EAs. They got to bring back the Square Enixes. They got to bring back the Ubisofts. They got to bring back all these different third party, you know, even all these other third party companies I can't think of right now. You know, I mean, a good way of doing it is the Call of Duties, you know, you can't do the Halos, but the Call of Duties, the what do you call it? The Battlefields, that type of stuff needs to go on to the system. But looking at the schematic, I don't know, man. Those are my thoughts.
I mean, I'm going to be really honest in that I don't think Nintendo's going anywhere, and I don't think they're going to alienate any of their 3DS users, because there's a huge install base for 3DS, and just like the Game Boy had done for Nintendo during the time of the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube, you know, that really buttressed their finances and everything. And we all know that first party is going to be there. Of course, third party is going to be important. I think that they know that it's going to be more important than anybody else, especially considering that the number of exclusives that exist across all platforms has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, my big concern is, okay, there's a few things I don't have a concern of. I don't think I'm concerned about them diminishing the stranglehold that they have over the handheld market. Okay. That's not going to happen. All right, because here's the thing. All right, for all the people who keep on saying that mobile gaming will take over the handheld market, no, it's not. Look, let's just be honest. Mobile gaming has been around ever since the turn of the fucking century. Okay, and while it's made a lot of people money, generally speaking, it's you know, it's never on the applications itself. Okay, and a lot of people that I know that have tablets, whether it's a Microsoft Surface or it's an Apple tablet, a lot of the tablets are being used. If they're not being used for sales, I don't see a lot of gaming done on tablets. I'll just be honest. Okay. Now, the whole thing with being able to dock it and take it along, if the thing's the size of a tablet, look, I've got a Kindle Fire. I haven't used it all that much, and when I do game, it's games that are free. Yeah. So, yeah.
I didn't mean to say that that they're going to alienate.
No, you're correct.
I'm saying more they're going to combine them. They're going to consolidate.
No, you're correct in saying that, because the thing is that the problem with the hybrid system is that then you've got something that's kind of in between. You've got the people who may go for handheld. Maybe they'll get this instead. And if that doesn't work out, they'll go ahead and forget about it. Or the folks that may go for a console, they sit there, they look and say, it's really just a portable system. They decide to go ahead and get a DS instead. So they run the risk of cannibalizing their own market.
You see, that okay. TurboGrafx 16, Turbo Express.
They were the same fucking system, pretty much.
PS4, PS Vita.
Yep. You know.
So
I mean,
have
it's,
that.
it's just that what I'm thinking, this is a good. I just thought about it that maybe the cartridge or the SD cards for the NX will be able to be compatible with your 3DS.
Oh.
I really doubt that, because the thing is that the NVIDIA Tegra architecture is miles away from what they have as far as what's in the 3DS. Even the new 3DS with its beefier processor.
What if the NX has an NES slot?
Sign me the fuck up.
You know what?
And like that support.
The NES that I have, dude, sign me up even more. I'll buy fucking 2 of them. All right. Reason being is the NES that's behind me, that one right there. Okay, that thing is almost 30 fucking years old. Okay,
well, most of them are.
I think over 30 years.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, most of them are.
no. The thing is, I don't know when I bought that, but I didn't get a hold of that, or excuse me. My sister didn't get a hold of that for her kids back in 1985. Okay, she got it a few years after. So it's almost 30 years old. All right.
One thing, too, that I want to bring up as well, since we're talking about the NX, a couple things, because you were talking about the chipset that they're using for the NX. Now, I'm not really tech savvy per se, but I kind of do know a little bit. But a lot of people are complaining now that the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, on what chipset that they're using for the NX, and they're saying that why are they using a previous generation, maybe even 2 generations ago chipset instead of using the more powerful, up-to-date chipset? So what are your thoughts on that?
I hate it when video game systems are judged by how powerful they are, instead of going to the most important aspect, games.
Well, yeah. And Sony, Microsoft, all these guys are guilty of this shit, It's like they put out the power of the system. I mean, that's what people are looking at right now. I'll admit it. That's what people, that's what the consumers are looking at. They're looking at numbers. They're looking at how many teraflops this, how many teraflops that, how fast RAM.
Here's the thing about it. I do agree that the most important thing is games, but I'm going to say this right now, especially as a guy who works in QA, and with a company that develops mobile applications. I've worked in QA for other companies before. Is that the thing that you have to consider about technology is that it's going to directly influence the direction that game development is going to take.
Understood.
All right, and but like you said, I do know that the games matter. The games themselves matter. Because the thing is
matter.
Yeah, well, yeah, a console titles matter. Yeah, console lives better.
I knew that was go. That's why I started laughing.
That needs to go up on a fucking T-shirt, okay? I would say that right now. Okay?
You know what?
You heard it first.
Yeah.
You heard it first here.
Console lives matter.
Yeah, that needs to go up on a T-shirt. I mean, because the thing is, games matter. And you can have as much hardware out there as possible, but if you don't have a good game that doesn't catch on with people, it doesn't matter. And that's the reason why third party is so important. And that's the reason why fucking goddamn Pokemon Go, it's just not fucking going away. All right?
Well, now wait a minute. Let's talk about that for a second. Pokemon Go, and then, all right, what's next? Pokemon Run? They're going to make the game so you have to run in order to get certain places?
Well, it already covers, it already records. It's a pedometer.
Understood.
And also
so Pokemon Run.
Well, there's a little bit of sad, or actually not sad, but kind of sad news that they're updating it very soon. If you haven't been paying attention to that, so what they're doing is some of the Pokestops that people are going to, they're actually allowing the place establishment. For example, Arlington Cemetery is actually one.
To opt out,
opt out of it ever showing up on the game, which I think is freaking brilliant, to be honest with you.
No, the funny thing is that I think that just makes sense for the fact that
does.
Let's just say this, okay? When I sat there and I saw the story that a kid ended up getting shot because he was wandering through somebody's fucking backyard, you know, in the middle of the night. I just thought to myself, it took this long,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, and that's again, I'm not going to sit there and talk bad about anybody who plays Pokemon Go, but I will point out stupidity when I see it. Okay.
Well, I mean, when you boot it up, it tells you that you need to pay attention to your surroundings at all
You know,
times.
wait a
I mean,
minute.
it tells you that
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yeah, okay. Like people are gonna pay attention to those busted warnings.
I'm just saying. So,
Well, you know, the reason why we bring this up is that, you know, all right, Nintendo is slowly taking over the world. We've said this multiple times. We've said this since last week. And even though their stock has dropped, I believe 18% after they announced out that, no, they aren't the guys who created Pokemon. They only own like I think 30% of the Pokemon company, which is one of the bigger sharing percentages of it. But they're also the ones who go ahead and distribute and market it.
Mm-hmm.
And Niantic came out and they were like, yeah, we're the ones who created and developed Pokemon Go. Their stock dropped 18%. The funny thing is that really didn't sit there and offset the fact that in the previous week their stock had jumped up 120%.
150%.
Yeah. So
People are like, oh, see, I told you Nintendo's going down. Like, you're a stupid motherfucker. You don't know anything about economics, you know, or the way the stock markets work. If you see something go up 150% and only drop 18%, come on, man.
Yeah, it doesn't equal out, you know.
Microsoft loses that much per day or whatever. I mean, come on.
I don't think anybody wants to sit there and drop 80% every fucking day.
No.
But you know my point. I'm just saying that happens all the time. So you can't. I love the people that do the statistics and don't really know about statistics. That it's an up and down.
Families will just speak.
Yeah, they use this. Oh, yeah, you see Nintendo's in decline. You see this right here? Did you look at their stock, 6 months prior or a year prior, 3 years prior? No, you're just looking at the immediate. So
fanboys aren't interested in that. They're just interested in to see their enemies fall.
Oh, Sony's better. Microsoft is better. Oh. Man, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, they're rather interested in the numbers on floppy things. There is a dick joke in there that's very, very obvious, folks. And yes, I pointed it out. Okay. Yeah, so
I don't want to play my DS on the NX, man.
I don't know, man. I mean, like you said, Eurogamer is a reputable site.
But what if they're right?
Well, if they're right,
more right than they're wrong.
Yeah, they're usually well, here's the thing. With a lot of the speculation stuff, there isn't very many sites that even come close to getting a small percentage of the things that they go ahead and they announce out or they speculate on right. But Eurogamer is usually a little bit more reputable. Now,
what was that third party company that actually saw the NX? Who was that recent in the news?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think it was Ubisoft, I think, was one of them.
Well, no, here's the thing. All of the publishers all have test units.
Dev kits, yeah.
They all have dev kits, okay? And Ubisoft going out of their way and saying shit about that really doesn't weigh too big with me, for the fact that Ubisoft is one of the companies that stiffed Nintendo and their Wii U offerings for the fact that they wanted Uplay on the fucking Wii U, and Nintendo said fuck you. In fact, EA wanted Origin on the Wii U, and Nintendo said fuck you. So what did they do? They were like, hey, we've got this game where you've announced it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to develop. We're going to go gold. We're going to go gold. 2 days before the release, we're going to fucking cancel it.
Pretty much.
And if you think I'm fucking exaggerating, I'm not.
No, it's not.
And I could say for all of us here is that none of us want to see Nintendo's next console to fail.
No.
And for that matter,
okay, what is it going to be? Is it going to be detachable controllers to a screen, or just?
Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's a detachable.
Yeah, the directional parts come off. Yeah.
No.
I mean, and then there's a tablet part that's there. I mean, look, we all want to see Nintendo or any other game company, especially when they come out and that they've got a history of putting out good, entertaining products. We always want to see them succeed, like Kirby.
You talk about a side mascot that's successful.
Yeah. They didn't even know what the fuck he was going to look like. That's the reason why he ended up with as a fucking
marshmallow,
a round puffball with feet.
You know what's funny about that? When you put in Kirby's Adventure for the NES, they actually draw Kirby out.
Yeah.
Like, is that all? Is that all they did?
Yeah, because he was placeholder art.
He was. And
yeah, that's the reason why the original fucking Game Boy, he doesn't even have a color.
Nope, he was just a white puff. Well, if they would have gave him color, it wouldn't have showed up on the Game Boy. But
true, but even on the box art, he didn't have.
That's what I'm saying. Even
a lot of people don't know that his first game was on the Game Boy.
It was on the Game Boy, and then he became Nintendo's Majin Buu on the NES.
Yep. I mean,
again, we reiterated this 1,000 times. We'll probably do it over and over again. There has never been a bad Kirby game.
Or a bad game with Kirby in it.
Yeah. I mean,
that's impressive.
Yeah, really.
You know, and you can't even say that about Link, Mario. You can't say that about those motherfuckers. You can't even say that about Solid Snake or even a Metal Gear game, because fucking Ground Zeroes and the original Metal Gear for the NES kind of, the original Metal Gear is a cult classic. I understand that, but still. But Kirby, man, damn. A lot of people.
4 years.
Yep.
And Kirby is not the same game over and over again. This motherfucker has been innovative as he went along. That's like Rainbow Curse and Canvas Curse.
Yep.
Even before that, I mean, Kirby went ahead when he was doing the whole sucking up enemies, and at first he was just sucking up enemies and spitting them out, using them as weapons that way.
Yeah.
And then he turned into with Kirby's Adventure, they decided to go ahead and give him powers, give him abilities and everything like that.
Look, abilities.
But where Kirby really started to go ahead and take off was when he made his way to the Super Nintendo, and they were like, okay, well, we've got this placeholder here, and he's literally more of a placeholder than Mario is for Miyamoto. Let's go ahead and let's put them together in like puzzle games or in golf games.
Yeah.
And Kirby's Ghost Trap.
Yep. You know, Kirbys Air Ride. I mean, a lot of those games are out there, and they're just fucking great. You know, the reason why we bring this up is that Kirby's 24th anniversary, I think, was actually last week or something like that.
Congratulations, Kirby.
And the funny thing is that when it comes to game anniversaries, or majority of like game or film anniversaries, they'll usually go out of their way and they'll announce a few things. So they'll lot about the 10th anniversary.
Yeah,
the 25th anniversary, and then maybe the 50th anniversary, and then
maybe a 30th.
Yeah, you know,
Mario, but with 30th.
But with Kirby, they didn't even wait until the 25th.
No, they put the 24th.
Yeah, they were coming out and they were talking about the 24th anniversary for Kirby.
But maybe the 25th anniversary of Kirby will be on the NX.
So that's what I'm saying. It kind of makes you wonder what they're going to be doing for the 25th anniversary.
They may plan something big.
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, right now, Kirby is in Robot Land.
Yep.
And look, I played that shit, and you play that shit.
Yeah.
It's a good fucking game.
I mean, it's just incredible. Like, you know, Kirby, as far as Kirby goes, like I said, he's never been in a bad game. And it's kind of funny because when I sat there, I watched, you know, this Watch Mojo. They put out the 10 best Kirby games, the list that they sat there and they usually put out, you know, because they specialize in that stuff. It's really easy, clicky media commercial stuff, right?
It's clickbait.
Yeah, but but a lot of times, at least they put effort into making their videos entertaining. And in the intro, they sit there, they say, since we're coming up on the 24th birthday of Nintendo's most overpowered, nondescript mascot. I sat there, I heard that, I was like,
Yeah.
that is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
I can't argue that point at all.
Yeah. No, because you've got a guy you've got a little pink puffball that absorbs the powers of anything that he eats. And if you've played the Wii version, what is it? The Kirby version on Wii, I think it's Return to Dreamland or whatnot, where they sat there, they introduced the hyper inhale, where he is literally sucking up portions of the background and the screen and everything. It was like, wow, it wasn't enough to go ahead and give him the ability to suck up boss enemies and take their powers. Now you have this guy sucking up portions of the landscape.
See, that was the thing about the first Kirby's Dream Land. After you beat a boss, you can suck him in, eat him, and take his powers. And it's like, whoa, who the fuck thought of that? That's fucking brilliant.
Some of the best powers, too. I mean, look,
Judo.
The first time that he sits there and he sucks up the bear in the wrestling ring, and then he starts suplexing guys all over the fucking place. Like, it had me smiling from ear to ear. Even now, when I think about it, it makes me fucking happy.
I remember when I played it, one of the Kirby games. I think it was a Superstar, and you suck up the freaking wheel, and you do that. Next thing you know, you can just start rolling, and you roll through enemies. And I'm like, look, a wagon wheel.
Yep.
I actually said that out loud, and a couple of people that was with me, they started laughing. They were like, what the hell? And I'm like, look, I'm an 80s child, damn it.
Yep. I mean, good stuff.
They eat motherfuckers and take their shit. That.
Well, and I understand, maybe it's a little redactive of Mega Man, but I'd have to say not so much as far as an application,
Well, you can do that to almost anything on the screen on Mega Man.
Yep.
Kirby, almost anything on the screen, if it's something meaningful that they're doing as far as powers, and like on Superstar, that's when you can start charging powers up.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, yeah, they keep going and going and going up on these games. And it's like, fuck, man.
I have to agree with what the Reverend was saying, that when Kirby started sucking up the whole stage,
Yeah,
I was running from ear to ear, man. I was like, yes.
He'll do the traditional, and then you'll, and then,
Yeah.
like, damn.
Spit out this big ball, man. God damn.
I mean, yeah, Yoshi has eaten up big Shy Guys and big eggs and stuff like that. But even Yoshi can't compete with Kirby.
No.
Kirby can fly. Kirby can wait, if you fall to your death with Kirby, there's something wrong. Seriously, he can fucking fly at will. It's not like he needs special powers.
Yeah.
If you fall down a pit on Kirby, something's wrong with you. Seriously. He can't drown. On the Super Nintendo, as soon as he hit the water, a snorkel and fucking goggles appeared. Like, where'd that shit come from? But I thought that was hilarious. But he can fly. He can't fucking drown. I mean, fuck.
All I gotta say is, could you imagine freaking Kirby with an invincible star from Mario?
It's funny because I thought about that a little bit earlier. But no, he has that.
Yeah. He does have something like that.
He does have that. He had, like on Kirby's Dream Land, he had like a special power where he ate something hot, and then he just spits out fire.
Yeah.
And they play like this, and they play like this star music on Mario. But it was upbeat, and it was cool.
I mean, Kirby...
One thing, too, about Kirby is what I enjoy is that every game, it kind of calls back to the original game. The first stage, the tree monster.
Yeah.
In some shape or form, he's there.
Yep.
I remember when, like on Kirby's freaking adventure for the NES, every time you defeat a boss, it has a ramp. And you have a button, and you have to launch yourself up. And of course, you're not going to know that the first time you play the game. So when he goes up, and then you land on the little one, and you know, a little Kirby comes out and he switches, like a sign says, press A. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I love that. Then you launch up. You launch up and you go to like a bonus stages all the way up. Right?
The thing about it is, you didn't know about it the first time you played, so you did it, and you still complete the stage, and you still dance, and another Kirby comes out and turns the sign over and says press A, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the great things that you know, I've got to say, even though we're middle-aged guys, one thing that we can go ahead and actually appreciate, or we've got a very different perspective on, is that we've actually seen a lot of these games from their inception. You know, and that's one of the things that, you know, we just want to go ahead and point out. Like I said, not only are we going to sit there, we're going to talk about what Nintendo was doing, what we think they're doing, and also how well they're doing in stock, but you know, there's a reason why we like this company, because that's one of the things that they put out, one of the things they brought to the world is Kirby. Mm-hmm. And he's never been in a bad game.
Let's have an underwater game of Kirby or an air game of Kirby, a Kirby shooter and a Kirby submarine game. Hey, he's been cursed. He's been a ball.
Well, it was a point to where, like you said, when he was cursed. He couldn't have no powers. He couldn't even walk.
Right.
I have one thing to say. And we'll close this video out with this. All right. Kirby RPG. Think about it.
Oh, my God. Yes. Please. Show me. Look, I will throw money at the screen. I will throw money at the screen.
Yeah. I would make it rain at the nearest game store possible in order for me to get something like that. That would be.
I think I'd probably buy a console just for that.
Hey, what if they're doing it
on the NX?
Doing it for the NX.
Well, we'll know hopefully soon enough, and you know, and that's. I think it goes without saying to say that that's what everybody is hoping. With that, we're gonna go ahead and bring this particular video to a close, folks. Like I say at the end of every video, thank you for following us all the way up to the end here. If you're so kind, hit subscribe, hit like, leave us a comment below whether or not you think we did a good job or if you think we're full of shit. All right. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. I didn't discuss about the credit card slot on the Nintendo NX anywhere. Just have the system come with Kirby. Fuck it. Yeah. Credits.
Cool idea. The Kirby ball controller. The gold power gloves? No.
No.
Fuck.